So all of these pans are coated with some sort of factory coating oil that prevents the pan from rusting between the time it's manufactured and it arrives in the store and then finally it arrives in your home. But they're so sophisticated now, you can't see that there's oil, and when you touch it, there's nothing that comes off. And this is heavy gauge carbon steel, so that when you press on both sides, it doesn't give. So the most important thing is, because there are all different sizes of woks, you can buy even like 8-inch woks, 10-inch woks, 12-inch, 14-inch, and then of course the Cantonese style, which has two little ears, those go like 16-inch, 18, 20, all the way up to 30-inch. But to me, the best one for a home stove is 14 inches. So then I wash the wok with this scrubber. It's a stainless steel scrubber, and I just use liquid soap.
Okay. To start out with.
To start out with. And I really scrub it from the inside and also the outside, because even with my heavy-duty scrubbing and turning on the exhaust, you're going to get a faint smell of some sort of chemical smell, which is whatever I'm not pulling off of it. And so you're just trying to release as much of that coating as possible. And this is the only time you would use something as abrasive as this, and the only time most Chinese cooks use soap. There are some Chinese cooks that never use soap again, just as some home cooks never use soap when they're washing their cast iron skillets. You've dried it with the towel and you think it's dry, and then you'll see little bits of rust later because the metal wasn't totally dry. So the way to absolutely make sure that it's dry is with the heat from the stove. So it should be any high smoking point oil. So never olive oil, never sesame oil. It should be peanut, canola, grapeseed.
How do you feel about lard?
Lard is fabulous. That's actually the traditional way, is to do lard. So bacon fat is the best way to bless your wok. Oh. And so now do you see that it's a slight change in color? So some woks turn blue. Some turn a slight shade of green. Some don't turn color at all. So whenever you're stir frying, I always say that the way you judge whether or not the pan is properly heated is to throw a drop of water in the pan and it should evaporate within a second. So whenever I stir fry, I always preheat the pan and I do this test. I always put my hand in here, like 3 inches above the surface without touching any of the metal, and it should feel like a hot radiator. So I cut up like a half a cup of the ginger and 1 scallion cut into 2-inch pieces. And then I would pour in about 2 tablespoons of oil. And reduce the heat. And then I add the ginger. And then you can go down to medium heat. So normally all stir frying is on high heat, but for seasoning a wok, I actually go to medium. So once the mixture begins to soften, I literally push it to the edge of the wok, and I'm washing the edges with this mixture. And I'll do this for like 15 or 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes?
Yeah, on medium heat. So most stir fries are always on high heat, but for seasoning you just want medium. It's just a slow, zen-like process of just stir frying, smearing, and then if the mixture starts to get really dry, then you just swirl in a little bit more oil. But what's literally happening is from the heat of the wok, the pores of the metal are opening up, and then you're coating with the pores in the metal with the oil. And you're sealing in the pores so that it won't rust in the future. And what happens with the patina is, as you begin to cook with it, each time you're cooking with it, it's getting this very, very light coating of oil, which creates a heavier and heavier, deeper patina, and that creates a natural non-stick surface. So this is about done. I'm just going to cool it for a second, and then I just wash it with hot water and a sponge, and then I dry it again on the wok. And that's why there's a photograph in the book of the evolution of a wok as it's being seasoned.
I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, because I think people, after you do this, you just feel like you've ruined the wok.
Right.
Like, I must have done something wrong because it shouldn't have turned black by now. So if it's neither black and it's neither stainless steel, then this is a very uncomfortable stage to be looking at. Because we don't have anything in Western cooking that looks like this. So this is actually my favorite kind of sponge. I always use this side, but if there was any little bit of debris, then I would use, so these are like non-stick sponges. They're actually for non-stick cookware. So the more you're cooking with it, the more seasoned it becomes, and each time you're cooking with it, just the layers are just coming in and coming in, coming in. But what I would avoid doing when you're stir frying with a brand new seasoned wok is never put vinegar in it and never put tomatoes in it. Anything acidic is going to pull the patina off. Once the wok has a fairly good patina, you can use anything with acid in it. But initially I would avoid it. And if you really want to accelerate the patina, I think that cooking bacon in a wok is really fabulous. And deep fat frying, because you're really heating up the pan, the pores are open, and then you're just coating the pores with oil. In the beginning, you're like, there's no change. It's like, it's the same color all the time, all the time. And then gradually, like, when you stop looking, that's when all of a sudden it like moves on to this level. And the other thing to avoid is don't use your wok for like boiling water or simmering. Like, you know, a wok is so versatile. You could like say, I'm going to boil my dumplings in here or something like that. So that's also going to pull your patina off. So you could like make pot stickers and fry them, and then that liquid, and then putting the cover on. If you're only using your wok like once or twice a week, that's going to pull the patina off. If you were using it the way a Chinese family would, you wouldn't have to be thinking about these things at all. But I'm anticipating somebody who's not using a wok super frequently, and so like really frustrated as to why the patina never changed. Yeah.